to the court with Archidiakono. 3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship.
This moment, along with many other infamous sports moments, makes sports in the United States what they are. Fans will pay absurd amounts of money to come and see these games, even if they need binoculars to recognize their favorite player. For example, the Miami Heat averaged $1.44 million of revenue per game in 2013. People are not coming to these games for the overpriced nachos or to be around 20,000 of their closest friends. So what is so good about these sporting events?
He goes right over Lucas. It was like a stepladder.
These split seconds that are captured on camera are idolized on bedroom walls, locker room doors, and Sports Center highlight reels. These shots, decisions, touchdowns, and game-winning home runs are made possible by our superstar athletes. But what if I told you that we could have more than double of these great athletes by fixing some small things in our society today? For any athlete to progressively advance through the levels of their sport, they need to get through an obstacle course of barriers and squeeze through the cracks of a wall that society has put between them and their dreams. The first obstacle is none other than their parents.
You tonight because you let me down, brother.
No, I'm not.
You did. I don't give what you do. You let me down. I don't care if you're going to play 100%. I'll get you, buddy.
Organized youth sports are highly popular for youth and their families, with approximately 45 million children and adolescent participants in the United States. 75% of American families with school-aged children have at least one child participating in organized sports. Youth sports can help a young person learn important life lessons like how to work hard, persevere, be a team player, set goals, and follow rules. Unfortunately, these lessons get disregarded by parents who live vicariously through their children. Parental misconduct at youth sporting events has raised from 5% to 15% in the past 5 years. In a survey done by Sports Illustrated Kids, 74% of people have seen out-of-control adults at a youth game. The pressure put on younger athletes can be a two-sided coin. Some athletes thrive on the pressure, and some lose interest in the game altogether. Each year, approximately 35% of young athletes quit participation in their sport. Sports attrition rates are the highest during the transitional years of adolescence, when outside influence have the most impact. By the time children are 15 years of age, 70% to 80% are no longer engaged in their sport. HBO Sports recently created a documentary that followed 4 families who pushed their children too hard in sports or lived through them.
Every parent wants their kid to be a superstar. Get the kid to buy into your dream.
With his talent and what he has, he can be as successful as he wants to be.
To get recruited by a D1 school, the scholarship is the goal.
The covenant that I'm making with God is that you be #1 in the world in tennis.
Pull your head out of your ass, dude. Seriously.
Can you be any stupider? How dumb!
If you embarrass me, I gotta get in front of all these people, I'm gonna smack you in your mouth.
I want to be rewarded somehow, some way.
What if I didn't do everything I could to help them realize their dreams?
I just see so much more in you, man. That's all. You know, man, I see more.
Dr. Henry Goetz, the chief of sports medicine at the Medical College of Ohio in Toledo, was asked about the parents' impact on children in their sports. He said, "Parents and coaches who push too hard too young, particularly when they emphasize winning above all else, can easily wipe out a child's motivation to play. They may be preventing the next Michael Jordan from coming to be. They can take the heart out of a kid." I conducted a poll with 5 coaches and 10 athletes with experience in every level of competitive sports play. More than half of them agree that there is a large amount of parental misconduct throughout the season, while 27% even went on to say that it is common at almost every sporting event. Dr. Nick Garcia from the University of Utah is a psychologist who specializes in helping athletes improve their performance, practice efficiency, and mental skills. This is what he had to say about what athlete burnout is and what factors contribute to these players giving up in their sports.
There are a lot of different factors. One of them, like you mentioned, is that consistent pressure to be successful and to improve. And we all kind of go through a situation where improvement is very noticeable. I mean, you see it in the individuals as they diet and then they start a workout for the first time. You're going to see some massive results.
Right. Huge gains quick.
Yeah, but just kind of the way we're wired and created is we basically all kind of reach a plateau at some point. Right. So you're not going to see.
So plateaus are natural.
Yeah, it's natural.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna see that, especially if you're an individual that really pushes you hard. You're going to see that curve go up, but there's going to be some flattening at some point. And what happens is a lot of times in burnout, not all of them, but when you have that pressure to still want to be successful, you're not seeing those results. You're putting forth maybe 110% effort and still not getting increased results. That can be very frustrating. Right. So it's that frustration that it can often build.
In my poll, 87% of the coaches and players agree that they have seen an athlete with potential burn out or quit a sport because he or she started playing competitively too young. In an article written for NBC News, Jacqueline Stenson talks about the dangers of parents trying to groom their child to be the next Babe Ruth and the negative effects that it causes. She talks about how the pressure by parents on their children to be the best to help resolve and prevent athlete burnout. Parents and coaches should look for major signs that their child or athlete could be experiencing. Physical signs that should be watched out for are fatigue, irritability, and inconsistent performance. A parent's goal for their children in sports should be to watch their child enjoy themselves while learning important life lessons, especially when they are at young ages. If we took a step back from our young athletes and let them decide on their own what they want to do, the athlete will eventually be motivated by themselves to work hard in whatever sport or activity they choose. By putting the child's best interest first, we could eventually have more athletes that stick with the sport their whole lives and maybe one day perfect it. And what sports fan wouldn't want to see more of that?